What's up, gang? If you're like most small business owners, you're probably lost and overwhelmed when it comes to things like marketing. I mean, we've got websites, SEO, email marketing, Facebook marketing, pay-per-click, all that fun stuff. And the reason why it's so overwhelming is most small business owners don't have experience or knowledge in those specific things. Well, let me completely remove all the overwhelm and frustration and confusion from your life forever. Are you familiar with the 80-20 rule? Well, most small business owners find that 80% of all of their annual revenue come from 20% of their activities on a daily basis. And that's what we're going to cover today, how the 80-20 rule applies to small business growth. Now, before we get into that, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ben Vizanal, and I'm a small business advisor and certified executive coach. I help small business owners find more clients, customers, leads, and $50,000 or more in lost and hidden revenue inside their business. And I do it in 45 minutes or less, all without spending a single dollar on marketing or advertising. That's a mouthful. Now that we got that out of the way, let me explain to you how the 80-20 rule helps you. I usually have a little presentation that kind of breaks this down, and it'll make it a lot easier to explain. So let me go ahead and switch to a different machine so that I can show you that presentation, and this will be a little easier for me to explain to you.
All right, much better. So we were talking about the 80-20 rule, and most small business owners find that about 80% of all their annual revenue is generated from about 20% of what they do on a daily basis, meaning they're only doing a few things daily that make up most of their money. And I'm going to tell you today specifically what makes up that 20%. That's all you're going to need to focus on after today. These 5 areas make up your 20%, and they are more leads, more conversions, more transactions, higher prices, and more profits. Now, usually I would give you best strategies and tactics in each one of these categories, but we don't have time. I don't want this to be like a 3-hour video. I'm going to try to keep it about 10 minutes or less. So I'm going to give you a high-level overview of each one of these categories, and I'm going to show you how small tweaks in each one of these categories will give you exponential business growth. And then over the next few weeks, I'm going to go deep in each one of these categories and share with you my best strategies and tactics for business growth. So if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe so you get notifications of those upcoming videos. And if you're in our Facebook group, or if you're not in our Facebook group, you can join our Facebook group. It's totally free. I usually release this content there first, and I'll do a deep dive in each one of these categories, and I'll do some other free trainings and videos to give you the big picture and how it sort of all ties together. So make sure if you're not part of our Facebook group, join now. It's totally free. It's Explosive Small Business Growth. You can search for it, Explosive Small Business Growth, or you can simply join by facebook.com/groups/explosive small business growth. And you'll get notified and get access to this content. Again, totally free, and you'll get access to it first. So let me show you how small tweaks in each one of these categories will give you exponential business growth. Now, when I ask most small business owners how many leads they get a year, most can't tell me. They're like, oh, right? And that's not uncommon, so don't feel bad if you don't know your leads. But if you do know your leads and this other information as we get into this, go ahead and sort of follow along, write it down, get a calculator, and do your own calculations. But for those of you that don't, and just for the sake of this demonstration, let's use some basic round numbers. So let's just say you get 1,000 leads a year, right? So that's 1,000 leads that come into your funnel or your business. Let's say you convert at 25%, meaning out of those 1,000 leads, you sell 25% of those people. That's 250 sales a year, basically, or 255 customers acquired. Now, let's say transaction-wise, the basic customer buys from you 10 times a year, and your pricing for that particular item that you sell is $100, whether it's a subscription or an actual physical item. So it gives you revenue of about $250,000 a year. So $250,000 a year is your revenue. Now, let's say your gross profit margin on that $100 is 25%. So it gives you a gross profit of 62,000 and some change. Not bad for a little small business, but you want to grow your business, right? You're not happy with that. You want to grow, you want to, retire early. So let's just say you tweak each one of these categories, just a small amount by 10%. That's a very modest and conservative amount. We're just going to grow our business by 10%. And you'll see what I mean when I say conservative, because 10% of 1,000 is just 100 more leads. That's like 8 more leads a month. That's nothing. That's child's play, right? So 10% increase in our leads category gives us 1,100 leads. Conversions go from 25 to 27.5%, because 10% of 25 is 2.5%. So 27.5% is our close rate now. So that gives us 303 sales a year. We're going to take our transactions by 10%. So that's 1 extra sale a year. Not a huge difference. We're going to take them 10 to 11. and we're going to increase our prices by 10%. Now, some people hate price increases. It's like the bane of their existence. And I've done videos on why discounting is bad and all that stuff. And I'll probably do some more in the future. But right now, in this day and age, most customers are not scared off by price increase or sticker shock because they anticipate, hey, price of eggs like $8, I think, for 1.5 dozen. So $10 price increase. Most customers anticipate price increase in this day and age. They're not going to be free to buy. So $10, in most cases. Now, again, every industry is a little different. Use some common sense. But what I'm trying to say is 10% is nothing. Most customers right now, the last several years with the pandemic, small increases are nothing. That's going to take our revenue from 250,000 to 366,000. Again, we're going to increase our gross profit margins, a small amount, to 27.5%. That's going to take our gross profits from 62,000 to $100,000. So I don't know about you, but an extra little $40,000 profit increase just from small tweaks. Again, this is nothing. In each one of these categories, as you can tell, gives you really exponential growth. It really does make a big difference to your bottom line. And $40,000 to me, that's a nice little extra increase in my business. Now let's just say, for the sake of argument, that we increase our business by 50% in each one of these 5 categories. We're not doing anything outside of all this other fun stuff. We're just going to focus on these 5 categories. That's at 20%. Remember, we're working on the 80-20 rule here. So I increase my business by 50% in these categories. Now, a lot of people say I increase my business by 50%. So I'm going to go from 62,000 to 124,000 in gross profits. But remember, we're talking exponential growth. So focusing 20% on these 20% of these things that give you 8% of your results, it's going to increase your profit exponentially way more. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. So you increase your leads to 1,500. You're going to take your conversions up to 37.5%. That takes your sales to 563. You've acquired 563 customers. You're going to increase your transactions from 10 to 15. Your prices from 100 to 150. Revenue now goes to $1.2 million. So again, increases in each one of these little categories dramatically increases your bottom line. So your revenue goes up a dramatic amount. Your gross profits goes from 25 to 37.5%. And of course, your gross profit now goes up to nearly $500,000. So you go from $62,000 in gross profits to almost $500,000 a year in gross profits. Excuse me, guys. Like I said, my mouth's getting dry. I know what you're thinking. A lot of people say, man, 50% increase, that's undoable. It just can't be done. It's impossible. I'm here to tell you, not only is 50% possible, but it's actually child's play if you get this focused on that 80-20 rule. If you do that, I promise you, you can double your business. 50% increase is nothing. We've seen businesses in the last few years, they innovated, they modified due to the pandemic, and they saw way more than 50% increases. And I promise you that you can do it inside your business as well if you just implement the strategies and tactics that I'm going to teach you over the next couple of weeks. Now, again, I apologize for the way I sound. I want to have a thick accent, but my mouth is so dry. It's been one of those kind of days. I'm sitting here drinking water as I talk to you, and it's still not helping my throat. So I guess my voice is going out. But anyway, I apologize for that. Hope all this made some sense, and I hope you can understand the words that I was saying. As always, if you have any questions or problems, reach out to me. If you want to get access to those upcoming videos about my strategies and tactics, make sure you join our Facebook group. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube if that's where you're watching it at. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. That's all I got for you today. I hope you learned at least one thing today that will help you achieve explosive small business growth.